Friends, welcome back. I'm Rinkesh sir, and today we'll continue with the miscellaneous exercise 5 of chapter number 5, that is complex numbers and quadratic equation. Okay, so let's start. Question number 16. Till now we had already completed till question number 15. So question number 16, if x plus iy whole cube is u plus iv, then you have to prove u by x plus u by y equal to 4 into x square minus y square. Okay, so let's start. X plus iy, or else let's write down u plus iv equal to x plus iy whole cube. So we will use the formula a plus b whole cube, that is a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. A cube, that is x cube, plus b cube, that is I cube y cube, plus 3a square b, that is x square into iy, plus 3ab square, that is x into I square y square. This will be equal to x cube. What is I cube? Minus I. So it will be minus y cube I plus 3x square y I plus, what is I square? Minus 1. So it will be minus 3xy square. Okay. Now let's make together the real part and the imaginary part. So x cube minus 3xy whole square plus minus y cube plus 3x square y I. Okay, so I had just separated it into real part and imaginary part. So u will be equal to x cube minus 3x square y square. Sorry, 3xy square. And v will be equal to minus y cube plus 3x square y. Okay, now let's take u by x plus v by y plus v by y. This will be equal to x cube minus 3xy square by x plus y cube plus 3x square y by x. This will be equal to x cube by x square minus 3xy square by x will get cancelled, so 3y square plus y cube by, sorry, it's by y, not x. Y cube by y square. And then y will get cancelled, so 3x square. X square plus 3x square, 4x square. And minus 3y square, sorry, my mistake here, it's minus y cube. So it will be minus y square. Minus 3y square minus y square minus 4y square. 4 is common and x square minus y square. Hence, we have proved that u by x plus v by y equal to 4 into x square minus y square. Here, so this was about question number 16. So just note it down. Now let's move to the next question. Question number 17. If alpha and beta are different complex number with modulus of beta equal to minus 1, then find modulus of beta minus alpha upon 1 minus alpha bar into beta. Alpha bar means conjugate of alpha. Now see, if modulus of beta is equal to 1, that implies modulus of its conjugate will be also equal to 1, right? Also, product of any complex number with its conjugate is equal to its modulus square. Okay, what is modulus of beta? 1, so that will be equal to 1. So beta, I can write it down as 1 by beta bar. So let's name this as 1 and this as 2. Now let's start. beta minus alpha upon 1 minus alpha into beta. So this will be equal to beta minus alpha upon 1 minus alpha bar into beta bar. How? From 2. Sorry, not this. This is from 2 because beta is equal to 1 by beta bar. So now let's take LCM. Beta minus alpha upon beta bar minus alpha bar upon beta. Here, so beta minus alpha upon. Now see, beta bar minus alpha bar. So that will be equal to beta minus alpha bar. And this beta I am taking here in numerator, that is modulus of beta. And how does this? Because z1 minus z2 bar is equal to z1 minus z2 whole bar. Clear? So using that property. Now what is modulus of beta? That is 1. When I will take it here, beta minus, sorry, not 1, alpha upon beta minus alpha bar. Let's separate the modulus upon this into 1, right? Modulus of beta is 1. Now we are again having the property that modulus of z is equal to modulus of z bar that we used here. Okay, so I can write down this as beta minus alpha modulus. Now beta minus alpha its bar or beta minus alpha both will be same. Clear? So into 1, so this will be equal to 1. So answer of modulus of beta minus alpha upon 1 minus alpha bar into beta, that is equal to 1. Here, remember these properties. Okay, we use this property. First, z into z bar is equal to modulus of z square. Okay, modulus of the complex number is equal to modulus of its conjugate also. And z1 minus z2, if you take conjugate and then subtract, or first subtract and then take conjugate, both will be same. Clear? So this was about question 70. Just note it down. Now let's move to the next, that is question number 18. Question number 18. Find the number of non-zero integral solutions of equation 1 minus I raised to x equal to 2 raised to x. Let's start. 1 minus I, its modulus whole raised to x is equal to 2 raised to x. The modulus of 1 minus x, that will be equal to under root of 1 square plus minus 1 square whole raised to x equal to 2 raised to x. Sorry, x. So now under root of 1 square plus 1 square root 2 whole raised to x is equal to 2 raised to x. So now I can write down this as 2 raised to 1 by 2 raised to x equal to 2 raised to x. So 2 raised to x by 2 will be equal to 2 raised to x. So now base is same, so power must be same. Means x by 2 equal to x equal to 2x. So I can write down 2x minus x is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 0. Okay, so the non-zero, the solution of this is x is equal to 0. Okay, but now see what is the question? Find the number of non-zero integral solutions. So how many non-zero value we got? We didn't got any non-zero value, right? So I can write it down that there are zero number of non-zero solution because there is no such solution. Okay, now let's see the next, that is question number 19. If a plus ib into c plus id into e plus if into g plus ih is equal to a plus ib, then show that a square plus b square into c square plus d square into e square plus f square into g square plus h square, that is equal to a square plus b square. Okay, so now first let's write down a plus ib C plus ID, E plus IF, G plus IH is equal to A plus IB. Now taking modulus on both the sides, that means A plus IB. Now we can also take separately E plus IF, G plus IH, A plus IB. Modulus of A plus IB under root of A square plus B square. This will be under root of C square plus D square. Under root of E square plus F square. Under root of G square plus H square. And this will be under root of A square plus B square. Okay. So now taking square on both the sides. Okay, so we have to remove the root because we are taking square, because square root and square, the square root is removed. So a square plus b square, c square plus d square into e square plus f square into g square plus h square. This will be equal to a square plus b square. Okay, hence it is proved. So what we did, first we took modulus on both the sides, and then on the LHS we took the modulus separately, and then we took the square. Okay, so this was about question number 19. Just note it down. Now let's move to the next, that is question number 10, 20, which is the last question of this exercise as well as this chapter. Question number 20. If 1 plus I upon 1 minus I raised to m is equal to 1, then you have to find out the least integral value of m. Okay, let's start. 1 plus I upon 1 minus I whole raised to m equal to 1. Okay, or else I can write it down 1 equal to this. So what I will do, 1 plus I into 1 minus I inverse whole raised to m. So this will be equal to 1 plus I. Now inverse, so under root of 1 square plus minus 1 square. 1 square plus, or I can write down directly 2, 1 square plus minus 1 square, because minus 1 square will be plus 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. I need to change this sign, so minus 2 plus 1 by again 2 and I whole raised to. And let's multiply 1 into 1 by 2, 1 by 2. 1 into 1 by 2 I, 1 by 2 I into 1 by 2, again 1 by 2 I into 1 by 2 I, that will be equal to 1 by 2 I square. This shows that 1 is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, that will be equal to 1. So I. Now I square is minus 1, so it will be minus 1 by 2. So again, I just forgot whole raised to m even here. So what happened? 1 by 2, 1 by 2 will get cancelled. So it will be I raised to m. So what I will get? I will get that I raised to m is equal to 1. But we know that I raised to 4 equal to 1. The next time it will be 1 is I raised to 8. So next time I raised to 12 and so on. So the value of the power m will be equal to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 and so on. In short, this will be equal to 4k where k belongs to z. Okay, clear? Now see here I can, but what is the question? Least integral value of f. So from all these value 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20, which is the least? 4. So the least integral value of m is equal to 4. Okay, so this was about question number 20. Just note it down. Okay, students, so that's it for today. Here we had completed the chapter number 5, that is complex number and quadratic equations. In our next video, we will begin with some other chapter. Okay, thank you.